In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Amen. Jesus, Mary, St. Joseph, and St. Teresa, pray for us. And happy visitation, day of the visitation, feast day. But all the feasts kind of collide together all at once because remember, in heaven there's no time. And everything's all for eternity. That's why I always said, when I pray the rosary sometimes, I see all the mysteries converge together in one. And it's really crazy to see that, but it's because there's no time. You can, in heaven, you can go back to the beginning of the universe. You can go back to the passion. There's no, just like flipping through a book, there's no time. You can flip here, but. What I was saying was weird is there must be some sort of future in heaven because in heaven they're doing stuff, so that blows my mind. I just thought, how can there be a future if there's no time? You think about that for a while, It's just the future is endless. The possibilities of the future is endless. If you're a student, be cautious in surrendering your studies so you can be overly involved in groups. What I'm saying is there's all these groups to do things now. Study groups, and you got your career building groups and all these groups. But let me tell you, keep it simple and just study and pass the exams. Study it well and pass the exams and just do it yourself. Don't try to get involved in all the groups because remember, it's a party atmosphere now, and there's a lot of alcoholism and stuff in these people's lives. Not good. And they're going to try to shove down these false philosophies down your throat in the guise that they're actually the study part of your education. So just kind of keep yourself in education. Don't get too involved in the party scene and the reputation scene, even though your job may involve having to deal with people. That's how they're going to reel you in. Oh, well, this is a public job, or this is a, networking job and stuff. And, just kind of keep to yourself. And as you pray to St. Joseph, and as you go through the material, you need to be able to discern what is going on in that material that may be of use and may not be of use. Feel free to form your own opinion after you read something. I've been reading these things about law. It's like, well, they try to make it seem as fancy that the law is just. Or they try to be overly analytical in the distribution of funds. Everything has to be fair. Everything has to be fair, down to the last tenth of a penny. Well, it's kind of against charity, and nothing can be completely fair. Just look at how different children are treated by their parents and the different children's things. How many children said, well, everything was completely fair across the board. But even if it was, how would that bring joy? How is just, nickel and diming people, how is that really truly joy? There's no charity. I've been reading about this in real estate, the closing, and how they have to nickel and dime back and forth, and how stressful people say they are. It's like, well, don't put yourself in that situation. Spiritually, don't care so much about it. I know that sounds crazy, but, if people stop caring about, I lost 10 cents here on this because of my garbage, they charged me for a day when I had the garbage or whatever, and I didn't have the garbage or whatever. It's just nutsos, it's getting a little too, that's our culture, you know. And then they have all these stipulations at the bottom. Well, who's going to sue? Who's going to pay for whose attorney fees? It's like, seriously, that's your bottom line, is just suing people for a house, when the best house you could ever have is Our Lady and heaven forever and ever. Now that's a house, you know. That's something worth storing up for, you know. You gotta have fire insurance, hazard insurance. You gotta have title insurance now, and all this crime. And they gotta have, the banks are so corrupt. They've got to give you a statement of what they're going to charge you, because because if they don't, the government fears they're just going to be, they're just going to be greedy. I mean, the system is broken, folks. What would I recommend? Saving up, paying cash for a house, saving up for a couple, or just not buying one in the first place. But if you have to, save up for 10 or 20 years and just pay it cash, and do it once so you really don't feel like you have to move. Obviously, sometimes people just have to move. But if you have to move, obviously you can try to rent out what you have instead of selling it. And you could try to do that. I don't know. But these whole sale and excise tax and all the taxes and stuff. I mean, Oh yeah, not buying a mansion. Like, buy something small. Don't buy it in one of the housing developments, because I don't like you can't have chickens. You can't build a shed. I mean, seriously, there's some good things, like they make everybody clean up their yard. Like 500 trucks with grass growing out of them in the yard. It's so gross. But. I was just talking about how, they used to plan cities so they actually look good and beautiful. If you look at the cities in Europe, and they would plan huge piazzas and beautiful arts and stuff. They just don't do that anymore. They put it all in the hands of the developers that try to tell people how to live, and they all fall for it. People don't know the power they have together, I just don't want to hit my skirt here. I think it's okay. I'm just going to turn the belt around. I don't think I'm going to... Oh, I always do this. Try to do the Santa Cross. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Amen. bow as the sword of St. Michael. I was just thinking about that. It's so powerful. Now, that's the part where I say, well, have I done it a million times yet? Have I really, truly done it? Because our minds are so, dull. We say, oh, well, I practiced this for so long. Then, no, you haven't, you know?